Honorable Governor,
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Honorable Chairman, Andhra Pradesh State Legislative Council, Honorable Speaker, Andhra Pradesh State Legislative Assembly, Honorable Members of the State Legislature, I am immensely pleased to welcome and congratulate the newly elected Honorable Members of the State Legislative Assembly and members of the Legislative Council to this joint session of the State Legislature being convened for the first time after the general elections 2024. I would like to take this opportunity to commend the Andhra people's active participation in the electoral process. Their inspiration for change has been unambiguous. Now the responsibility of fulfilling their aspirations lies with all of you. Honorable members, you are aware that due to the supreme sacrifice of Amarajeevi Potti Sriramulu, Andhra Pradesh was formed as the first linguistic state on 1st October 1953. with Kurnool as capital. Thereafter, the state was recognized on 1st November 1956 and Telugu-speaking parts of Hyderabad state were made into the combined Andhra Pradesh with Hyderabad as capital. Accordingly, a lot of Telugu people moved to Hyderabad. Again, in June 2014, the people of Andhra Pradesh were forced to undergo another reorganization of their state, the most damaging experience of all. The united Andhra Pradesh was bifurcated unscientifically, undemocratically, and without adequate consultation with the stakeholders. This has left an indelible mark on the minds of the people of the residual state of Andhra Pradesh. The turbulence caused due to multiple state reorganizations and the resultant disruptions have deprived Andhra people of a sustained long-period development and progress. Today we stand at a juncture where the people have to again take up the task of rebuilding their state. As time has progressed, it has become evident that the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014 does not compensate enough the residual Andhra Pradesh for the loss of prosperity and development opportunities. The state bifurcation has imposed an unprecedented strain on the economy of the state. There are patent inconsistencies in distribution of assets and liabilities, with 58.32% of combined state population. The unscientific bifurcation caused the state to inherit only 46% of the resources, financial loss on account of loss of Hyderabad city, disproportionate debt burden, loss of access to public institutions, loss of national institutions, Government of India PSUs, and institutions of higher learning, etc. See that scientific criteria for apportionment were not adopted, while the residual state inherited huge revenue deficit. Debt was shared on population basis, assets on location basis, power sharing on consumption basis, and worst of all, educational institutions with no basis. All these factors led to the structural change in economy with reduction of service sectors from 51% to 44%. The per capita income too fell from 1,06,176 for the combined state to rupees 93,121 for AP. Notwithstanding the adverse impact of the state bifurcation and undaunted by challenges such as budgetary constraints, infrastructural deficiencies, and unresolved issues, the government converted every crisis into an opportunity during the period 2014 to 19. The government had laid a solid foundation for a vibrant, sunrise Andhra Pradesh. The then government focused on the inherent strengths of the successor state of Andhra Pradesh, its 974-kilometer coastline, providing opportunities for port-led development and requisite environment for manufacturing activities. The fertile river plains supporting agriculture and allied activities, the passing of 3 industrial corridors through the state, the rich natural and human resources. A reflection on the state's performance during the 5-year period of 2014 to 19 gives a clear picture of the balancing act between development and welfare. Completion of prestigious Pattasima project by linking of rivers Godavari and Krishna in a record time of 1 year. Completion of 72% of Polavaram project so that it could be made fully operational by 2021. Prioritization of other irrigation projects, drought-proofing measures, real-time governance, development of Amaravati region through land pooling, construction of new secretariat and legislature building are a few examples worthy of mention. All the milestones achieved during 2014 to 19 were possible because of the visionary leadership of Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu, the Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. In this regime, the state TVs like Kia Motors, emerging as #1 state continuously in ease of doing business rankings. Under his able leadership, the state attracted several investments in various sectors. The government initiated development of Kakinada SEZ port, Bhavanapadu and Ramayapatnam ports, expanded airports and increased the state road network. The development of infrastructure was balanced with welfare measures such as increase in old age pension, farm loan waiver, scholarships to students, construction of houses, etc. These development and welfare measures led to compound annual growth of 13.5% between 2014 to 19. While the state was set to take off on the path of high growth, the change of regime in 2019 again brought back the disturbing time for the nascent Andhra Pradesh. The state that already bore brunt of bifurcation in 2014 was rather unfortunate to have witnessed yet another bigger debacle in the form of inept governance, where the people were threatened and officers demoralized. In fact, the damage and losses during the period 2019 to 24 have been more severe compared to the state reorganization in June 2014. The government that assumed charge in 2019 started a destructive note with demolition of Praja Vedike that continued unabated till the end of the regime 2024. During this regime, democracy was at peril. People were in a state of fear and hardly enjoyed any freedom of living. The regime revenge politics had severely hampered the state's prospects for prosperity and growth. Even the Honorable High Court of Andhra Pradesh had sought to convene a judicial inquiry into whether there is a constitutional breakdown in the state. The biggest damage was done to the brand AP. No noteworthy companies came forward to invest in the state. The corrupt practices at all levels, coupled with weaponization of instruments of governance across revenue earning departments for personal gains, sabotaging of checks and balances made several state institutions and private companies defunct and forced the existing enthusiastic investors and entrepreneurs to move out of Andhra Pradesh to other states. The uncertain environment which rocked the confidence of the people in general and investors in particular started showing impact on the state finances, leaving them in a mess. Fiscal prudence was abandoned. Expenditure was beyond means in spite of limited revenue growth, and debt and liabilities rose sharply. Financial management is manifested by diversion of funds, higher taxation despite high inflation, increase in power sector liabilities, neglect of capital expenditure which eventually resulted in slowing down of the economy. The enormous gap in resources was sought to be met repeatedly by borrowings through corporations and forcing them to spend on government expenditure, and in the process weakening the corporations. In view of the inordinate delay in clearance of the bills due to strained financial position of the state, many vendors and contractors have approached the High Court of Andhra Pradesh for relief and filed cases against the government. About 25,000 cases have been filed for bill payments, which is unprecedented. The sheer number of contempt cases with personal appearances and arrest warrants against officials in several cases resulted in systematic humiliation and victimization of bureaucracy. This led to complete demoralization of administrative machinery. the capital expenditure reduced by 60% in 2019-24 compared to 2014-19. Departments such as water resources and transport, roads and buildings, which undertake substantial capital works, were left critically short of funds to carry out any works. The capital expenditure on water resources has reduced by 56%, and that on roads and buildings by an alarming 85% during this period. The compound annual growth rate of states' own tax revenue slipped from 12.8% to 8.1% during this period. On the other hand, the revenue expenditure increased from 7.8% to 10.5%, whereas the capital expenditure growth declined steeply from 26.4% to 3.4%. Lower share of capital expenditure to public debt occurred during the period 2019 to 24 is a clear indicator that the government met revenue expenditure also through borrowed funds. The CAGR in per capita debt has been higher at 14%, while the CAGR in per capita income is only 9.7%. This reflects the fiscal profligacy of the previous regime as no capital formation took place. The Amaravati capital region, envisioned as the focal point of growth for the nascent state of Andhra Pradesh, was totally destroyed. With an attempt to scrap the Amaravati dream, the government confused the people with its malicious three capital cities idea under the guise of decentralized governance. During the period 2019-24, no irrigation project, no industries, no infrastructure relating to roads, buildings, hospitals, drinking water was taken up. Cancellation of MOUs in energy sector and other infrastructure projects further demonstrated the negative attitude of the government. Such disastrous decisions, unmindful of consequences, have led to unrest among the youth and job aspirants. Prevalence of uncertain environment has eventually led the youth towards addiction of illegal substances, causing a drug menace. The mental unrest and agony were not limited to the geographical boundaries of the state. The Telugu speaking people all around the world were upset and demoralized by the uninspiring deeds of the government. They anxiously and desperately waited for a change in governance that would take them forward in the 21st century. The progressive public policies of the AP government during 1996 to 2004 have today led to empowerment of Telugu people globally, enabling them to be amongst the highest earning Indian diaspora. The condemnation of demolition approach of the previous government by the people of the state, NRIs and other supporters, culminated in a change in government. A huge and historic mandate has been given to the NDA, hitting an unprecedented 93% strike rate, thus reaffirming faith in democracy. I sincerely congratulate the people of Andhra Pradesh for their wisdom in electing a government that discharges its duties with a futuristic view. Hordes of Andhra people had come from various regions to be part of this historic mandate in favor of future of Andhra Pradesh. The new government has a perfect blend of fresh and experienced honorable members in the assembly. I once again welcome all the members who will be instrumental in making right policies in the interest of good governance and in the spirit of cooperative federalism. Honorable members, at this juncture, I feel it is also important to recall the glorious past of Andhra Pradesh. Renowned as Annapurna, rice bowl of India, the state used to support other states in ensuring food security. As a leader of self-help group concept, Andhra Pradesh stood out as an example in developing entrepreneurship, knowledge economy, and cultivating thrift amongst poor women. Use of IT in all areas of welfare and development was the cornerstone of state's vision. The misrule of the previous government, which lacked transparency, have compelled this government to put the facts before the people about the disruption of systems and rampant corruption prevailing during the last 5-year term. Accordingly, my government has released a series of white papers highlighting numerous discrepancies in fund utilization, misappropriation, resulting in huge loss to the state exchequer and the natural resources base of the state. I would present some of the key takeaways of the white papers. Completion of Polavaram, the lifeline of Andhra Pradesh, is of the highest priority. The Polavaram project has been completely derailed. Introduction of reverse tendering and cancelling the agreed contracts have caused an irreparable damage not only to the project but also to the concept of interlinking of rivers and irrigating every acre of land. Unilateral announcement of 3 capitals for the state resulting in 1,631 days of farmers' protest. Modification of jurisdiction of the Capital Region Development Authority to 6,993 square kilometers. Shelving preparation of regional master plans. Completing the land acquisition in only 191 acres are some of the events that halted the progress of CRDA. This led to a potential loss of about 7 lakh jobs and estimated loss of wealth of about rupees 2 lakh crore along with loss of investment and growth opportunities. Andhra Pradesh, which enjoyed the distinction of being the first state in the country to have introduced reforms in the power sector in 1990s, had achieved energy sufficiency from 1996 to 2004. After bifurcation, the state faced an energy deficit of 22.5 MU per day. Again, by bringing second generation's reforms in energy sector and promoting renewable energy, the state become energy surplus by 2018. The state has witnessed an irreparable damage in the recent past. State energy sector has also suffered huge losses to the tune of rupees 1,29,503 crores during the period 2019 to 24. Misappropriation of natural resources such as land, mines and minerals and forests has been widespread. Land grabbing, misappropriation in allotment of house site pattas, violations in land allocation, assignment of land to ineligible beneficiaries, and Resurvey and AP Land Titling Act 2023 have completely eroded the confidence of the people during 2019-24. Put together, an amount of rupees 35,576 crore covering 1.75 lakh acres has been estimated as a loss, and the fundamental right of the people to own their property was affected. Looting of sand and mineral wealth is another area that resulted in huge loss to the exchequer and involved corruption. My government has initially estimated that an amount of rupees 19,000 crore has been lost due to illegal activities in these areas. Due to the unfriendly sand policy, 20 lakh construction workers have become unemployed. Due to the inefficient, inappropriate policy making and laxity in enforcement during the periods 2019-24, a cumulative loss to the tune of 9,750 crore has been incurred in mineral revenue. Huge damage has been done to environment. Smuggling of precious red sandals from forests has taken place with the revenue from the sale of red sandals dropping from rupees 1,623 crore in 2014-19 to rupees 441 crore in 2019-24. The destruction of mangrove forest land and Rishikonda Hill in Vishakhapatnam have also damaged the state's heritage and culture. The government misused law and order machinery during 2019-24 by harassing dissenting voices. There was rise in crime against women, children, atrocities on innocent people, especially the SC, STs and other vulnerable sections. The people lost faith in the government's ability to maintain rule of law. The previous government also made a mockery of the excise revenue streams of the state. The VAT on excise was reduced and diverted to AP State Beverages Corporation as a special margin which otherwise would have come to the government as revenue. The government levied the additional retail excise tax on the issue price of liquor sold by APSBCL and escrowed the same for repayment of loans taken by APSDC. While the APSBCL started supplying low quality liquor and introduced unknown brands at significantly higher rates, there was increase in black money due to smuggling of IMFL across the border districts. These policy practices have caused irreparable damage to the excise revenue streams of the state. As a result, it has become difficult for the new government to meet even the essential committed expenditure with the reduced revenue of the state. The overall debt has more than doubled in last 5 years with huge outstanding payments of salaries and pensions, debt repayment for the debt burden of about 10 lakh crore, payments for the power sector dues, civil supplies and other liabilities has become challenging. Putting the governance back on track is truly a Herculean task. My government has already started fulfilling the pre-poll promises and announced that steadfast commitment to Super 6 promises. My government has launched its trademark people-centric governance soon after assuming office with a series of measures such as announcing a mega DSC for filling up 16,347 teacher vacancies, abolishing the Land Titling Act, enhancing social security pensions to Rs 4,000, organizing a skill census, and reopening the Anna canteens to provide food for the poor at a very nominal rate of Rs 5 and supply of free sand. My government will initiate other important measures also. I am sure my government under the able and proven leadership of Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu Garu, the Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, and Shri Pawan Kalyan Garu, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, with complete support of Shri Narendra Modi Garu, Honorable Prime Minister of India, will make all-out efforts in fulfilling the aspirations of the people for developing the state. Initiating the process, the Honorable Chief Minister visited New Delhi to meet the Honorable Prime Minister and other Union Ministers concerned and apprise them of the grim financial situation. During the visit, special requests have also been made for hand-holding by the centre and extending liberal support to the state. I appeal to the people of the state to understand the current alarming financial situation and cooperate with the government in rebuilding the state. The massive destruction which resulted in huge loss of natural resource base and human value system really makes the reconstruction process difficult and time-taking one. To assess the complete loss, plan for resource mobilization and development is a cumbersome task. It requires collective thinking, extensive discussions with intelligentsia and academicians to explore ways to overcome the current crisis. It also involves finding ways to restart the entire development ecosystem through short, medium and long-term plans in the light of the new development paradigm of Viksit Bharat at 2047. The extent of real damage done to Andhra Pradesh in the last 5 years had not come in public discourse thus far. The misgovernance from 2019 to 24 created a trust deficit with regulatory authorities and damaged the brand of AP amongst investors. The people now given a strong mandate to the NDA to rebuild the brand AP and regain the trust. Honorable members, usually winning elections and assuming responsibility is a happy event. But now we are meeting in different and difficult circumstances. Perhaps for the first time in the country, the members are not in a position to rejoice and have the means to meet people's aspirations immediately. Keeping this in view, my government is proposing to go for budget after meaningful deliberations. With several issues relating to state bifurcation remaining unresolved, my government has taken initiative and visited New Delhi to meet the concerned in union government, including Honorable Prime Minister and also Telangana government, with an intent to quickly find amicable solutions. The resolve shown by the 5 crore people of the state to reinstate democracy and elect people-friendly government with an unprecedented mandate is required to be appreciated yet again at this hour of crisis to help the state to rediscover its past glory. I would like to conclude my speech with the inspiring words of Swami Vivekananda. I quote, "We are responsible for what we are, and whatever we wish ourselves to be, we have the power to make ourselves. If what we are now has been the result of our own past actions, it certainly follows that whatever we wish to be in future can be produced by our present actions. So we have to know how to act." Jai Hind.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे